Hi friends, it's Susan Smith with Stamp Creatively, and I have some online exclusives, Frosted Forest, and a few other items that I'm going to use that we were able to pre-order as demonstrators. If you're not a demonstrator, you can get this product in July. I have a group on Facebook called Online Exclusive Fan Club, and you can go on and see the latest online exclusives. If you join the page or the group, I'd love to have you post pictures if you create things. We have lots of other demonstrators who post pictures, so don't hesitate to do that. I have, this is one of the projects. I'm going to start off with one of the projects I did at a team event this week, and it was a fan favorite, so I thought I would show you. And then I have two other projects with this same bundle. So this is No Beauty Shines Brighter Than That of a Good Heart. I don't know if you can see it or not. It doesn't always photograph very well, but this is the textured paper that's in the catalog. I did this a couple of different ways. I just stenciled it because this bundle comes with stencils, and I wasn't sure I needed the stamp over the top, and I really like the stamp over the top. The wood paper that's in the catalog. I did. Right there. There's the wood paper that's in the catalog that I'm going to be using. It's called Wood Textured. It's 2 sheets for $5, and it's fantastic. So I'm going to start off with a piece of wood, the wood paper. I'm going to stamp it in Mossy. I'll zoom in so you can see me. The problem with zooming in is it doesn't zoom in right here like I need it to. Oh, it did! Okay, never mind. Maybe technology is going to be my friend today. We'll see. So there's two sides to this. There's definitely a wood grain, and then there's one that's not as textured. You want to make sure you stamp it on the wood side. Again, this is Mossy. I mean, that's pretty right there. But this bundle's got a lot going for it, friends. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of just white printer paper. I'm going to put this on here so that I can mark my stencil, so you can see how that gets marked. I'm going to put a little seal just right up there in the corner, just to hold this in place so it doesn't shift. So I've just put that up in the corner. Now I'm going to take my first stencil, and it says 1. I'm doing what Stampin' Up tells me to. I don't always follow the rules. This time I am. So I have my 1, and then I'm going to take my pencil and mark that once I'm sure it's lined up exactly the way I want it. And it really lines up well. Okay, so don't move it. If I do, I'll just line it right back up. This is copper clay in colors that will be going away at the end of this catalog, so just know. You can swirl or you can just tap this. Because I didn't mind if there were shades of light and dark, I just went ahead and tapped it. And I love the way that looks. So that's the first color that goes on. And again, I'm going to go in the order that it tells me to. So the next color, the next one is, this is number 2. I'm going to line it up with that V. And then I can also tell that it's lined up because the little stems cover my copper clay. This is Granny Apple. And again, I'm going to tap it in different shades. That was the hubby calling. Now I'm going to mute my phone. So if someone else calls me, I thought it was muted, I can ignore them. Okay. He thought he needed to tell me something. He left 3 minutes ago. I'm going to be filming Don't Call Me. Yep. Okay. He told me. All right. So I'm going to tap this down. I mean, I'm sure you guys create and no one ever interrupts you. There you go. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. Every time I do it, it looks different and it just makes me happy. I live in the woods, which I've told you before. And so this is what I see when I look out my window. This is garden green, and it really didn't line up with anything we've found. So there was no real way to tell where the best place was to put it, so we were glad we had the mark for this. So this is garden green. So if you're part of the online exclusive fan club, you can see things, but I also post these videos here on YouTube, but they're also on my Stamp Creatively blog, and I send them out to my customers in emails. So if you want to be a part of my email list, please don't hesitate to ask. Okay, you ready? Magic. What a pretty tree. And again, I knew it was stuck up there in the corner, but there's nothing back here that's going to bother anything, but it just kind of kept it from moving. Then I have a little bird that I'm going to go ahead and stamp on here. And the bird comes in the stamp set with 2 bird dies. I'm going to take my Wink of Stella and a little bit of Balmy Blue and just color my bird, just very subtly with the blue. Now I'm going to use my mini boss and cut this out. I love the mini boss. It's on sale this month. So if you don't have one, you can get the big boss or the mini boss. They are discounted along with bundles. Not this bundle because it you can't get it unless you're a demonstrator. But they did not discount this for us. Here's my tree, and here's my bird. It's discounted because it's a bundle, but we didn't get the extra promotion of the bundles for this month. That's bundles in the annual catalog. So just make sure you check those out. You don't want to miss something. And again, if you don't have either this die cut machine or the big one, make sure you do. The mini boss comes in handy when I'm here and I'm just doing some little things. Now there's things I can't do with it, like I can't do the embossing folders, the big ones that I used. There are some that fit, but a lot of our dies fit. So unless I'm using my embossing folder and folders, I can kind of get away with it. Okay. Because I'm doing 3 projects, I'm trying to kind of pick up and move my stuff out of the way as I work, because it's going to get in my way. So again, I've got my copper clay. That was the color we used, the first one we used. I'm going to bone folder this down with my Wonder Basement bone folder. I have, because I've done this a couple of times, I put the words on some of them. I'm not going to put the words on this one because this is a good boy card. I can use this for a lot of other things. This is the Birch 3D folder that comes. We were able to pre-order it with our Creativity Now things for tomorrow. Stampin' Up has a online event that you could register for, and if you registered for it, you were able to purchase some fun product that'll be available. Like if you need this birch folder more than anything else, it's beautiful. You can order it, and if you're a demonstrator, you'll be able to order it in August. If you're not, you can order it in September. If you want to be a demonstrator, don't hesitate to ask me questions. I like questions. I'll be happy to answer questions. I like to put a little seal at the bottom and then use dimensionals so that my tree has a little bit of depth. Again, I'm not putting my words on. I can add words with a punch or a die here later if I want to, or I can add my words to the inside. My folder shifted a little bit on my bird, so I'm just going to trim this one side. Oh, I could have used washi tape or a Post-it note to make sure my bird was perfect, but I didn't, so I just had to trim it. I need my bird to be in flight, so I did a little movement there of his wings. I'm going to put a glue dot right there on him. We don't know if it's a him or her. There's my bird. How do I look, friends? It's so pretty. I wish you could see the wood texture on this tree. It's just great paper. I highly recommend it. For $5, you should at least try it. Okay, here's card 2. This is with the pine trees. They're really pretty, and I'll show you what I did to make them beautiful. Okay, so this one is done in, look at me, I made a mess of that one already. This one's done in Old Olive. I'm going to do this one in a Mossy Meadow, just because I want to compare. Who knows what I did to that? So I'm taking the Mossy Meadow, and then I'm taking this new vellum. This is also an online exclusive. It's called Graceful Greenery Vellum. It's got garden green, mossy meadow, old olive, pecan pie, and white. So this is one of them. There's the white one. And there's the third one. Is that not pretty? It's part of the online exclusives. So you can tell a difference. I was just curious, so I decided I would try a different color this time. I'm going to put my adhesive right in the middle. I'm not bothered by any of this because you can't see it, because I know that's where my image is going to go. Okay, so there's my vellum right in the middle. Then I'm going to take, my colors are Old Olive. I have some crumb cake. I have some espresso, and then I'm using vanilla. I'm going to move that card base out of the way. I've got some stamping and some die cutting. So I'm going to stamp on here. I needed a ground, so the Scenic Pumpkin Patch is one of the online exclusives, so I'm going to use its ground so I don't have floating trees. And I'm going to use crumb cake because I wanted my non-floating trees. I wanted it to be subtle. So I've got my crumb cake now at the bottom. And now I'm going to add my pine trees. I've got this shorty tree I'm going to put over here. And I've got its big sister here. And I'm going to leave this wordless, but I've got a perfect spot to put words here. Who knows? I may need it. Maybe it'll be a Christmas card. I don't know. So now I'm going to take some tear and tape. Obviously not that one because I just used that one up. I'm going to take tear and tape and run it down this vanilla. I'm going to put it about there. I'm going to make it a little bit longer than what I need on one end, so I can flip it over and show where it is. Okay. Now I want to run this through my mini boss, and I want the center of my tree to be right over that line. So I'm going to put one tree here. Maybe I'll put the bigger one over there. And one tree here. Okay. And there's a method to my madness, I promise. I'm going to put this on here like this. And again, I want that tear and tape to go down the centers of my trees. I'll show you. I love dimension on the card. Holy smokes, I think I had no muscles. Look at that. I just flip that ink. I like moved everything here. This is a mat so that I can clean it. I just moved that right around. Okay, so that's coming off perfectly. So is this one. Now I'm going to use my handy dandy tool to get it out of there. And I don't want to pull too hard because I don't want to tear any of my leaves or branches. I guess those aren't leaves. Okay. I'm not going to worry about those little pieces that are still left in there because when I pull that adhesive off the back, it's going to take them right off. Okay, so I'm going to put these trees in here. I'm going to take my piece of white back out and lay my trees on here so you can have a little bit of a contrast. Now I'm going to stamp up over the tree. Put a little green on my tree. I guess I wouldn't have had to switch stamps. I could have used the same one. Okay, so now I have pretty green old olive on my tree. Now I'm going to take my Wink of Stella and I'm going to go over that. And I know, doing this you can't see like I can, but trust me, friends, that's beautiful. I love my glass mat, and it's what I stamp on the most. But when I do these videos, I feel like it adds a glare. But while I'm just stamping, it's my favorite. If you don't have the glass mat, you can get it. It's an online exclusive now. Okay, so I've colored my trees. Slide that back under my mat. Now I'm going to take my tear and tape and tear it off the back. Come on, friend. If I can get a hold of it, come on. Right now, all my fingers are just sticking to all the little pieces. There we go. And I want that to stick right down the middle of my tree. And now I'm going to do this one. I don't know where you live, but in Indiana, it's been hot. And today it's also been muggy. Here we go. A little piece right there. I'm going to put this right down here. And now, my trees have some dimension. By just adhesiving it down the middle, my branches aren't stuck just to the tree. And can you see the sparkle? That sparkle on top of there. This will definitely be one that I will do again at an event because it's so easy and quick and looks lovely. I'm going to put some dimensionals in the corner. And Stampin' Up gives us such good coordinating things. Look at that. So here's one in the old olive, and this one's in mossy. Which one do you like better? Oh, I need my embellishments. See, I got sparkle things in the corner. So I keep my things in packages like this. So these are the adhesive backed sparkle gems, champagne white and black. And I do that because how many times do your things come off? The back comes off, and then I can't remember what I'm using. Let's use some clear ones this time. I know, I can stop. I just like them. So there you go. Okay, friends, that's card 2. Now let me show you card 3. Card 3 doesn't really have any stamping to it. It's only using the dies and some embossing folders. So I use the wood grain in the background. So no words, just lovely. Right now all I see is green trees, but it won't be long till those will be beautiful, colorful trees. So let me show you how I put that one together. I used pecan pie, you know, because we're a borderline pie company. We have pecan pie, peach pie, and pumpkin pie. I'm going to take this crumb cake and I'm going to do the same thing with it that I did with those trees. I'm going to take this tear and tape, run it down here, let it come over the end just a little bit so I can see where it goes. I'm going to use my mini boss and cut out that tree. And I want the center of the tree to go right down that tear and tape piece. Let's see if I can do this without like shaking the whole thing. Like it takes so much muscles to do this. It's a good thing I work out. My trainer would be proud that I can run paper through a machine. And don't think that makes me sound like I'm cool, trust me. I work out with a trainer because of doctor's orders. I had major back surgery several years ago, and he said, if you don't start figuring out how to use your hamstrings and glutes and not your back, you're going to be in big trouble. Hence the reason I'm fortunate enough to be able to work out with a trainer. But it is not fun. Okay. And he knows that, so don't think you're hearing something he doesn't already know. So one of the dies, this is one of the dies. And this, I always like to run my dies through to kind of see what they're going to do. So this one is going to cut out the top, but not the bottom. Like this is where the cardstock ended. So I'm going to take this piece, and this is going to go there. So I ran a 4 1/4 or 4 by 5 1/4 through, cut the bottom off, ran this part through the embossing folder to get that timber effect. So I'm going to put my seal down. Come on, don't do that. Stay over there where you're supposed to be. And then for these guys, I'm going to put some seal across the bottom. And that's all. Because I like those trees where they don't have to stick down. That they get a kind of, I mean, I like a floating tree. See? It makes them a little more interesting, I think. Okay, so that's that tree. Then I've got this tree. I'm going to take its tear and tape off. I want to slide it under here just a smidge. So it looks like it's behind that little hill. Everything's sticking to my fingers. And there's that tree. Okay, so this is the branches. So that's what this is. and I'm going to I did it on watercolor paper, and I used the full adhesive sheet back here because I want it, the main reason I wanted it on there is to pull out all those little pieces so I don't have a piece party, which is right, a thing. So I'm going to pull my little piece of paper out here again, or I could use a silicone mat. So you can use a scrap piece of paper or a silicone mat or whatever you want to do. I'm going to take, and I'm going to color with my Wink of Stella. So I want to watercolor with my Wink of Stella. So I can do straight, but sometimes that's a little too dark. So I'm just going to dip it in a little bit of water. I'm not going to use a ton of water. I'm not going to ruin my Wink of Stella. But I'm going to make these beautiful leaves that also have some shimmer. Because I can mark this Wink of Stella now as my watercolor one. So that's the garden green. Now I'm going to use, is that garden green? No, it's Old Olive. If you could see out my window, you would know that these colors are true. So now I'm going to use a little of this lemon lime twist. Because we also live on a lake, so I get the reflection of the lake on my leaves. And right now the wind's blowing and the sun's shining through, and there's the reflection. So I have a lot of these colors. I'm going to add some more dark over here. How am I doing, friends? So sometimes I'll close it and put my thumb in the lid, or I'll take a refill. So this time I'm just going to use a refill so I can have a little more color. Watercoloring makes me happy. I have a mama in memory care and I need all the happy I can get. If you deal with elderly parents, oh my gosh, God love you. It is so hard. My sister's been here from Texas this week and she got a little bit of a dose of what we have to deal with and she didn't like it very much. There were 3 of us girls, 2 of us live local and the one in Texas, and it was a hard mama week. I don't like those. They make me weary. Okay. So here we go. And I'm going to show you the magic. So I keep water on my desk. Don't drink, don't drink, don't drink. Because my grandkids, who can't read, will go, oh look, Amy's got a little water. I'm like, dude, don't drink. Okay, here we go, the magic. So I'm going to pull this off the back. And see, this makes me happy. See all those little pieces sticking to that? Because now, the ones that are still in here, I have to get out. I want them to come all out with the... Can't tell if there's another piece over here that I didn't get peeled off. Feels like there is, but I can't see an end. Probably someone who's watching with eagle eyes can see it and you're trying to tell me, so I appreciate it, but I still can't see it. Because that's part of the reason when I have these little... You should see my... That's part of what happened earlier when I try to see. So when I can't get them out with the adhesive sheet, then I have to do this, and then I end up with this. And then I have to take a vacuum cleaner to it because there's lots of little pieces. Okay, I'm going to move these out of the way. I'm going to put this on. Are you ready? Look at my pretty tree. And this is the part that doesn't have an adhesive sheet, which I'm okay. I thought I covered the whole back, but I must not have. But I'm okay with a little dimension to my card like that. So there you go. So tree number 3. And this one's all done with die cuts. And here it is a little darker. This was shaded spruce and granny apple. I mean, both of them are pretty. So that's one. Then here's one. One's old olive and one's mossy. And then here's the trees, with or without the words. Okay, friends, thanks for joining me. Don't forget to like my channel. If you want emails, go over to stampcreatively.com and you can be a part of my email list. If you're a big screenshotter and you want to see everything all at once, let me see what I can do to help you. Kind of gives you an idea. Oh, I guess I don't need 3. Let's do it this way so you can see them. There you go. There's 3. All right, thanks for joining me. Have a great day. Bye.